Oh, hello there, everyone. Welcome to NRL season 6, round 8. This evening we are in Spa, Belgium. Very massively historic track. Every corner has a name, and I will try to remember as many names as I possibly can as the drivers blast round one of the longer circuits on the grid. Lap time is around about a 1 minute 40, maybe a little bit less, 1 minute 38. We'll see what the times come up. I haven't raced in Spa for a long time actually, but it's around about that time. It's a long lap. Drivers probably will be pushing and struggling to get 3 flying laps in. If everything goes to plan, 3 flying laps is what they can do, but if they do start messing about, then we will see. We will see. Sorry, I made a joke on Discord, and I'm currently still laughing at it because everyone's grossed out by it. But there you go. So we have a full grid. Look at that, full grid this evening. Lots of reserve drivers. I'll read off the list of reserve drivers. Who have we got? We have Willans is racing in the McLaren this evening. We have Havina is in the Mercedes. Talisburr, is that his... yes, Talisburr is his PSN name. He's in the Williams. Impossible Bacon is in the Aston Martin. The Haas have 2 reserve drivers racing for this evening. That is Kachow and Vebo the Beast. And then we have David C in the Alpha Tauri. Yes, there we go. So full grid of 20. Now the drivers are heading out. They've got to go out pretty quick, as I've already mentioned. They will struggle to get a lot of flying laps in, so they're going to have to do it quick. So let's go and join. It's Kachow. Kachow. Yeah, I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but that is Kachow's favourite film. He drives like a NASCAR driver. All he can do is turn left. He cannot turn right. As we go through Pujon, the long left-hander, you do not want to touch that inside curve, and you do not want to run wide. That will throw you out. But as we ride on board with Kachow on his outlap, he's quite a fast outlap to be fair. Really cooking those tyres on this outlap, so hopefully they'll still be in one piece by the time he finishes the lap as we come around into Blanchimont. Flat out, even though there is a couple of curves. There's a right-hander there. There's a left-hander coming up, quite a long left-hander. It's not a brilliant place to make an overtake. But the drivers do still try and do it. They do still try and do it. So you come round the final corner, takes a very wide line to get the power down as early as he can. A bit twitchy on the exit there. Back end stepped out as we head into La Source. It's turn 1, heavy braking zone. Come back on yourself, out of the hairpin. We've got a driver on the right. Havina stays out of the way, coming out the pits. And then we go for the flat-out blast down into Eau Rouge at the bottom of the hill. And then up the hill into Radion. He is completely flat out. Nice, stable setup there. We run a strict corner cutting settings, and Eau Rouge and Radion will invalidate your lap easy. So you've got to be careful through there as you come along the Kemmel Straight and the heavy braking zone. Into the right left-hander, takes a bit too much inside curb there and does throw him off, but he still keeps the car in a straight line. As then we come down the hill into the downhill right-hand braking zone. Very easy to catch a front right tyre there, lock up into No Name. And then we blast back down into Pujon. Now he's got to avoid that inside curb, takes as wide as possible. Just kisses that inside curb there. That's a nice line through there, pretty much flat out. As we head into the second sector, towards the end of the second sector into the third sector. Nice line through there, and then we're going to have a cottage on the left hand side. There it is, kisses that outside curb, and now he's flat out until the bus stop chicane. Is he going to have enough ERS? The ERS will drain pretty quickly around here. You don't want to be, if you're on the throttle for a bit longer than you're supposed to, you will lose all ERS. But it is quite a short run down to the start-finish line, so you won't lose too much time if you have run out, as he comes into the bus stop and powers down towards the line. He's going to have enough ERS, goes fastest for the 1:42.377. There is a lot more time in there. So David Shishud, all drivers are out on track apart from 2, I believe. I think there's only 2 left in the pits. Yes, that is Bacon, that is Mark of Kenya. Now Mark of Kenya doesn't like to set flying lap times. Talis Burr goes half a second slower than Kachow with a 1:42.774. Willands is invalidated, he's going very wide round Puhon. Diagonal Mar, Tomasi on the Discord is just starting his lap. Holmesy is back in the NRL this league this week, but he is invalid. Mr. Woot Havina is just starting his lap, he's going down the Kemmel. Tossakava is coming up to Puhon, that's right on board with Tossakava through Puhon on the medium tyre. It's an easy one stop here, and if you start on the mediums you will obviously have the faster tyre at the end of the race when you go to the softs. I believe, from what I've been reading and seeing, it is completely dry qualifying and a dry race. Misses the apex completely there, so lost a bit of time, did scrub off a bit of speed. Now championship leader ERT Samba on a flying lap on the medium tyre through Puhon, comes round, drifts it wide, but it's still a pretty decent line. Some more times are starting to come through. We've got Calcis. So Kachow's still in the lead, and it wasn't the best lap, and he's done a pretty good job there, so he's still on pole. Tommy Lee's gone second. We've got a few drivers on the medium setting times. David Shashud and Kelly Robb, who's got a chance to move into second spot in the standings this evening because we have no Stein. Stuart Little in the Alfa Romeo is in P7 with a soft tyre, which is pretty uncompetitive that time, 1:44.572, so he's doing a look to want to improve with that. Will has come back into the pits. Mark of Kenya is still in the pits. Exotic is on a flying lap on the medium tyre. He's going to try and give that a whirl. Understeer into the first part of Puhon there. You just saw him turn the wheel and the car just did not stick, and then got an oversteer moment as he tried to correct it. Maybe not quite the right setup. The tyres probably aren't working as well as what he would like to either, but it doesn't look like a neat lap. It looks pretty scruffy. As long as you get a time on the board, you're in with a shout. Holmesy's on an out lap. He's having a battle with who's this? A Ferrari of I think it's not the Ferrari, it's the Red Bull of Tomasi. Tomgo Prof is on a flying lap. He's coming round into the bus stop chicane, so he's flat out through Blanchimont. Kimi Räikkönen on the left hand side there, famously spun off from the lead of the race while he was fighting Hamilton in the wet. 2000 and touched that wall there. I hope he hasn't done too much damage. That could have been pretty nasty. I think it was in 2008, maybe 2007. David's in the grab. So every time I've clicked onto David, he's been going slowly. Will is on an out lap. Kenya's still in the pits. Holmesy's still on an out lap. Bacon's on a flying lap on the medium tyre. Let's see how he handles the car through here. Slow moving car up ahead. That's David going wide, so he gets out of the way of Bacon. So it looked pretty neat and tidy there from Bacon. And he is not sure obviously what his sector times are. So I don't get that information until the end of the lap, but we'll see. He could be on for a decent lap here. I don't think it is actually. I'm looking at the timing screen. He is going to be a bit off the pace with that time. Possibly into the 45s. 44.4, P13. On the medium tyre, it's not the worst. But Samba on the medium. Who's that in the wall? David again. He's really struggling. Really struggling. So Samba's the best time on the medium tyre so far, 1:43.086. That's a good time on a medium tyre compared to everybody else. He's just put a set of soft tyres on though, so he is looking to go even faster. He'll be leaving the garage very soon, and he will be looking to dethrone Kachow. We've lost Mr. Woot. Famous corner. Delta Lima, good friend of mine, co-owner of SFR and steward in NRL, reserve driver in NRL and a racer in SFR. He always struggles at that corner. If he's David's all it's just play Where's Wally? Game of Where's Wally. That's what we're doing with David Shashood today. We're just trying to find out whereabouts he is on track, because he's not on the tarmac, he's somewhere on track in the runoff areas as Kachow goes round turn 1. Now let's have a look and see what his first sector time is. Is he going to stay flat out up Eau Rouge Radion? He was last time, he is this time, and the car looks pretty nailed on through there, as he's going to get a bit of a slipstream, I believe. It's going to get even more of a power, moves out from behind the back of Domi Lee. There is a car just up ahead. His first sector time, he is up on his time, so he is looking to improve. And that looks much neater through there. He probably would have gained at least 2 or 3 tenths off his best time from that mistake he made. And we've lost Mark of Kenya. Is he retired? Or is he crashed? And David Shashood, he's been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. That's always going to happen. He's been off the track more times than Kachow has in previous races. He might have got his rhythm back, because this looks very neat and tidy, this lap from Kachow. And we've also lost that's it, sorry, I thought there was another one that had gone, but it hasn't. So he is, he's 3.5, 4 tenths up on his best time, so that all that time he gained he lost on his first run. So he's going to be pushing himself into the 1 minute 41s, a very late 1:41 at the minute, if he can gain some more time. It was a bit scrappy on the exit of the bus stop on his last lap as well, so probably at least another tenth there he could possibly find. So he's looking to go 4.5 tenths quicker. That looked much neater. Power down, and yes, 4.5 to 5 tenths quicker. My prediction of 1:41.9 flat. So he is currently 7.5 tenths quicker than anyone else. So he is absolutely flying. Domi Lee is the next closest driver. What can he do? Is he going to get a bit of a snow? Kachow's not going to repay the favour as Domi Lee did last time with a bit of a slipstream. Still flat out up there, but it didn't look quite as nailed on as Kachow's effort. So I think Kachow's obviously running a bit of a better set of suspension to be able to keep it nailed down. And Domi Lee didn't look brilliant through there, I'm not going to lie. It looked a bit wishy-washy, bit of understeer. Calcis has gone P2. Cali Rob has also just found 1.5 seconds and gone into P3. So Domi Lee coming round No Name. He's got some drivers up ahead, and we're going to jump on board in a minute with Samba when he completes his flying lap. He's abandoned this one, and Domi Lee runs a bit wide there, and he is now invalid, so we'll jump off him and go on to Taliz. No, he's invalid. Toss the Caber is a second down on his best time, so he's not going to be looking to improve. Obviously made a mistake somewhere along the line. Tambar. Not sure who this is. Don't recognise this driver. He's in the Haas. This is Vebo. I think he's a Norwegian nationality driver, as well as Calcis. Joined the Discord today, so this is his debut race in NRL as he comes around Puhon, and let's watch him into right, misses the apex there completely, needs to get a bit closer to that, and then the run's wide, but it's still valid. Obviously that was all set up from missing the apex on the first right-hander, which just running wide into the next corner and then running even wider into the following corner. He was trying to keep up as much speed as he could. He just needed to scrub a bit more speed off there to not run quite so wide, but it's still valid, it's still going. As he comes round, he's heading towards bus stop now. He's got a driver on the left, Calcis. Fellow countryman stays out of the way, brakes hard and late into bus stop, and abandons his lap. Goodness sake. Right, Samba ended up pitting. Tomgo Prof is on a flyer, and he's invalid. Yerdis. And as I say that, he abandons. Oh, he's on an outlap. I apologise. Bacon Exotic is in the pits. Will Ands is on an outlap. So let's jump back on with Yerdy then. Yerdy's the next driver to start a flying lap. Calcis has abandoned his. So let's ride on board with Yerdy. There's no other drivers on a flying lap right now. So Yerdy crosses the start-finish line. He's going to brake heavy into La Source. Gets a nice tight line there, lets the car roll out, and he's going to power himself down to Eau Rouge and Radion. And is he going to remain flat out up here in the Aston Martin? Yes, he is flat out, lets the car do the work, and that looked pretty nailed on through there as well. As he comes along the Kemmel Straight, we have a yellow flag. It's a slow moving car, and hopefully it should get out of the way of him into the braking zone. Yeah, he abandons that and gets across into the runoff area. Doesn't get in Yerdy's way, and now we head down into Brussels. Long right-hander where you think you want to get the power on earlier, but you just got to be patient there. You just got to be patient. Put the power on too early, you will run wide, and you will lose a hell of a lot of time, and possibly even the car, because that outside curve is a bit horrible. This looks very neat and tidy here from Yerdy, especially through Puhon, very tight to the inside line without scrubbing too much speed. Flows it round, possibly could have got a bit tighter to that apex and straightened that out a little bit earlier. It was still pretty neat and tidy as you come round, and he's done a purse. He's gone faster than his previous time, so he is a 1/10.5 up. This will improve his time, but it's not going to improve his position unless he can find 4/10 in this final sector as he comes towards bus stop. Now the heavy braking zone at bus stop. He comes round it. Pit entry on the right hand side, very tight. We're going to see a lot of cars lose their front wings, and Yerdy goes 3.5/10. He found even more time, but doesn't improve as I mentioned, but he does improve his time and solidifies his P12 starting position. Look at this from teamwork from the Mercedes crew. Habina is dragging Samba along, and now we've lost Yerdy. What's happened to Yerdy? He's crashed at the top of the hill up here. Here he is on the left hand side, so we've lost Yerdy. He's put his time on the board. Samba absolutely slams it through that series of corners there. And now he heads exit across. It's getting very dark actually. The track is changing, it's evolving. I don't think we're going to see interesting line through there on the grass, and it doesn't impact him. Okay, that's the eSports line, is it? I assume. It looks like it's going to rain. The clouds have come over so quickly. It might get a bit of rain at the end of this qualifying session. I think there's not too much longer left. He's a second and a bit up on his best times. This is going to see him jump into... He's going to improve ahead of Kachau, and he's going to gain even more time out of the final couple of corners. And look at this, getting a nice slipstream. Another Tommy Lee just loves giving slipstreams to people today. It's the second driver who's given a slipstream to, and both of them are about to jump ahead of him as Samba takes a slightly tighter line. Kachau goes really wide there. Samba goes very narrow, and look at that. He goes a full 3 and a bit tenths quicker than Kachau's best time, and he puts himself into provisional pole with a 1:41.533. So we're just waiting to see if ERT Samba can get back in. He has been disconnected, and he can't appear to get back in. So he might have a Samba bot on P1. He's obviously shown us the pace he has. Apparently Kachao doesn't mean anything, but Kachao has said that he was 0.002 away from Samba's time, but it was invalid, so it doesn't mean anything really, does it, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Apparently my internet is now playing up, and it's not sufficient to broadcast, so if it does start playing up, it did this to me the other week, to be fair, and all was fine in the way of the world. So yeah, I think it's just the servers, unfortunately. But there's the gap. So yeah, confirmation that Tambar, Samba's back. Two Norwegians in P3 and P5 respectively, and the Brazilian, he's Brazilian, is he, in the Williams Talisburg in P4. So now I'm just going to wait to load up into the lobby, into the onto the pit straight, while the drivers select their setups, select their fuel load. Oh, there goes my phone. Select their fuel loads and their race strategies. We wait a little bit of time just so everyone can do that, and there will be penalties, severe sanctions. It's the word of the it's the word of 2022 at the minute. Sanction, isn't it? If drivers don't do so. Toss the Caber, the first driver able to select his race starting tyre. He's currently in P11. Is putting the medium tyre on, it looks like, along with Bacon, who is doing so as well. Everyone else appears to be starting on the medium tyre. Now obviously a bit of a quick ready up there, not normally readying up that quickly, so I think we might have had someone doing it ahead of schedule. Yeah, someone's clicked ahead. So at the minute, we've got a few seconds before we start. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers on medium tyres, everyone else on softs, and we are going to be led away on the formation lap. Don't normally see Haas cars right at the front of the grid, however, after listening to Pietro Fittipaldi on the Sky broadcast today when he was talking with Will Buxton, he says he's very excited about the Haas in real life car this year, and that it's pretty rapid. Now we have I think Samba might still be disconnected. Because his car is ghosted, so I think he's still under AI conditions. So keep an eye out on the position changes at the start. The Samba is going to lead us away. Yeah, going back to the Haas. So yeah, Fittipaldi is very excited about the Haas this year. He says it's a very good car. He's obviously driven it once or twice, I believe. Obviously before Magnussen got announced again this week. So he is looking forward to it. He thinks they're going to be a pretty good team this year. They obviously sacrificed last year's car and every car they've ever built, Haas apparently, for this season. So watch this space. But I think it's going to be normal service. Obviously Lewis has come out today saying that he doesn't think Mercedes are going to be anywhere near, but he says that every year. They all do. But we will see. We will see. I'm obviously looking forward to next year's game. Cars are going to look different. They're going to feel different. They're going to sound different. And we will see what that brings. Hopefully the game will be different too. I'm actually looking forward to there's an F1 manager game coming out. I'm actually quite looking forward to that. I think that would be quite a good little game. It's completely separate from Codemasters. It's being made by a company called Frontier, I believe. And it's going to be no racing involved, but you will be managing the team. So team principal style, so that would be quite cool. Looking forward to that. As Samba comes around the final corner. and we will be driving very shortly. We'll have the race start. Now La Source is going to be horrendously tight. Mark of Kenya is doing the first to wall challenge, so he's looking forward to hitting that wall as early as he possibly can. Right, who's that coming around the final corner? That is Woot, I believe, who's going to be in the Alpine, is it? That is Mr. Woot. Right, so Samba is, I think, still disconnected. His car is still ghosted. So or is it? I think he might be back. I think he's back. Right, we've got 5 lights on now. Once they go out, we go racing. They're out. We've gone racing, and Samba's on the grid. Wow, awful start from Samba, and both Haas get away well. Kachau leads the grid, and Tambar gets ahead of that. Then we've also got Talisbar and Calcis fighting for position in P3, P4. Everyone else is as is, because Samba's dropped down the grid. Yodi's had a good start, up 2 slots into P10, and they're going to have a bit of an over chance, bit of a Haas battle at the front, I believe. Let's ride on board with Tambar. He's not going to slipstream, he's not going to go for the lead of the race. He's going to cover off the Williams behind him, and Calcis also settles in behind as well. Both Alphas appear to be fighting through end of the Camel Straight, and Stewart's gained a position. And we've also lost Tom Go Prof. Mark of Kenya has lost the first wall challenge. Tom Go Prof has won that. He is out of the race. And Samba is, I believe, back in with us. I haven't got a safety car, actually. It's quite surprising we haven't had a safety car come out. But we're going to have 22 laps. Obviously, I've mentioned it's a long track, so only 22 laps, but 22 long ones. About a 1 minute 48, 1 minute 49 racing lap, if not into the 50s. We're still under green racing conditions. Dommy Lee is on the back of Cali Rob through there. Is he going to try and make a move for the lead of the race? Bacon's shifted to the back as well. Another yellow flag in sector 3. Who is that? It's the other Red Bull. They're not doing too well today, both Red Bulls. They're both. One is out and one is at the back of the grid. Dommy's not going to try and make a move on Cali Rob, and they're all running single file through the final corner. Kachau sets the fastest lap of the race, but he is the first driver across, so he always will be setting that time. No real gaps and battles happening so far as we watch Stewart on his teammate Toss. Now, Toss has got the slower medium compound tyre on, which means they're on different strategies as the teammates today, so Toss might be kind enough to let Stewart go and try and sort his race out. Dommy Lee is not close enough to Cali Rob. We haven't got DRS just yet. Talis Burr was pretty close there, but not close enough. Once DRS is enabled at the end of this lap, we will possibly see a few more spots. And what's happened here? What's happened to Samba? As we jump back, Samba's round, and it was in a collision with Mark of Kenya. He's caused one of them has caused an issue. Diagonal Mar is out the pits, I believe, so he is now at the back of the grid. He's got to hope for a safety car. So Samba is having a horrible race. He had a chance to open up his already commanding championship lead. And who is this going backwards? That is Calcis. Try and catch up with him. Calcis is round, and he is now falling to the back of the grid as well, and he's probably got some damage on there, has he? No. Oh, he's round again. Those tyres are hot, pushing too hard too early, and thank God for ghosting. We have ghosting on in this league. Yeah, Mark of Kenya. No, it wasn't Mark of Kenya, it was Impossible Bacon who went straight through the middle of him there. And we've got 3 drivers cut adrift, 4 drivers cut adrift. We've got Samba. Who are these ones? Samba, Kenya. I don't know. Is Samba a lap down? It's saying he's at the back, but he's not. He's in. I think we've got an issue with Samba. I think we've got an issue there personally, because it's not showing him at the back, whereas he's not. Now Calcis gets past Mark of Kenya, I believe. Kenya's in the pits. That is why. What's he going to do now? Has he got any damage? Is he going to change his tyres? Has he got wing damage? Yes, he's got wing damage. He's changing that out, putting a set of hard tyres on. That will see him through to the end. And David Shashood, for the first time of jumping on board with David, He's on the track. He's on the right bit of tarmac, driving. Yeah, we've got an issue with Sambo because now showing that he's now behind Tongo Prof. He's now jumped back ahead. So yeah, God knows what is going on. But look at Yerdy, up 5 positions into P7, having an amazing race from Yerdy. He's looking to capitalise on anything that can come his way. We've got a yellow flag. No, we haven't. There's no car there. I think we have a glitched lobby, personally. I've got a feeling the lobby is glitched. We're having demon yellow flags, and we're having other things happening as well. But Kachow is leading us away. Talisburr is in P3. He has got DRS. It won't open up now. It will open up down the pit straight if he is within a second, which he is very much so within a second as we go across that green dot on the track now, and that is the DRS detection point. And then once we hit the line now, DRS opens, and we do get a huge straight line speed advantage, but it's not enough to make a move into the source, but it will get him close. Now let's ride on board with Talisburr as we come disconnect there from Tambar. I'm not sure what's going on, and he twitches out and he's out. Tambar is around. He's probably got rear wing damage from that shunt into the wall, and he is now yeah, falling back into P12, if not a couple more positions, because cars are coming up thick and fast on him here. We've got a Ferrari of Exotic trying to go around the outside of Havina, but he gets blocked by Tambar. And look at that from Havina. He goes through his wheel to wheel with Tambar there. Tambar backs out in the end. He's going to try and make a move up the inside, is he? No. Yeah, he just wasn't quite up the inside of him enough, and Haas, from a very commanding 1-2 position, wouldn't be scoring any points for the constructors being reserve drivers, but it would have been good for Haas to be 1-2. And now hang on a minute. Kachow as well has had an issue, and he is now down in P11. What has happened to Kachow? All the action talking about Tambar, and Kachow has had a similar issue too. I believe it probably might have happened at the same spot, but yeah, Kachow is also from being 1-2, they're now 11 and 13th. Normal service has been resumed, so Talisbar is now the leader of the race with Cali Rob just behind, and Cali is going to have, we've got a collision, have we? Exotic. What's happened to Exotic? Spun in the last corner possibly? Who knows? But let's just seem to be joining things a bit too late. But Cali Rob is going to have DRS, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. Look at that gaining speed. He's gaining, but nowhere near close enough at the end of the camel. He does gain to within 3.5 tenths. Might have lost a bit of time. We've got Exotic picking up a 3-second time penalty, and we've still got a mark of Kenya stranded towards the end of sector 2. So we'll see if the cars do come to the back of him by the time it's cleared now. If they were going to come on top of him, they would have released the safety car, but no such luck for drivers of who are towards the back of the grid, as in Exotic, Kelsis and Diagonal Mar. Diagonal Mar is hoping very much so for a safety car to come out and help save his race. Now, Mr. Wu, podium for the first time in a long time in NRL last week, and a race win for the first time ever in SFR last Sunday, is looking to carry on his excellent run of form. Currently in P9, but he's got all the time in the world to try and gain more time. We've got yellow flags happening again. I think we've got errant yellow flags going around the track. Is he going to be close enough? He just looked like he was going to make a move there. Shows the back of Stuart Little his front wing on his rear tyre. Just dangles it there. Tell him, I'm there, Stuart, I'm there. Don't turn it on me. And he does just back out, doesn't go for the move. Will runs very wide there, and he's going to lose at least one position. Is he? He's going to get the run. Stewart is going to get the run on him, so let's ride on board with Shashood, as we're going to have the box seats for a Mr. Woot DRS overtake on Stewart, and possibly no, he's just, I think Mr. Woot is running. Is he going to try and make? Yes, he's done it, but he's round. A very optimistic move there from Mr. Woot. Personally, I don't think he was quite close enough. Braked a little bit too late, tagged the rear end of Stuart Little, and he is round, and Stuart is still in P8 with Will maintaining that P7 after he went wide at La Source. We've got Jack back. Jack is back after just talking with him last Sunday when Mr. Woot ended up winning the SFR race. He's very thankful that I was on board with Mr. Woot there, but yeah, unfortunately the form of Mr. Woot has run out, his good luck, and he spun himself round, and he's now back in, where is he? P13, and Delta Lima saying he thought the lobby was glitched, but then saw Kachow spin and all was fine. So Stuart is still behind Will. I think Stuart's got more pace than Will. His ears does seem to be all over the back of him like a rash. And look, he's going around the outside as he into La Source. Will sticks his nose back up the inside. Stuart gives him plenty of space, but look at this. When we go past this green dot just up ahead, Will is going to be within. Let's ride on board actually with David, I think. Let's ride on board with David up the hill. So we're going to be in box seats, and there goes Stuart on Will. Will fighting back. Will's got DRS. Stuart's an absolute sitting duck. He's been overtaken by 3 cars, and we're going to be 3 wide. Kachow! What a move there from Kachow. Triple overtake, and keeps P7. Look at that, from out of nowhere. John Cena. Kachow is back in P7. The rage is strong in this one. Stuart is probably raging himself. Absolute sitting duck. Should have just backed off and waited for the DRS rather than try and overtake Will into turn 1, because yeah, he has now been overtaken by 3 cars through no fault of his own, really, is it? It's just the DRS is pretty overpowered in Spa. So what kind of gaps are we looking at here? We are looking at a 6/10 gap between Tallis Burr and Cali Robb. Cali Robb is in the lead of the race, so he's obviously overtaken Tallis for the lead of the race. Errant yellow flag again. Who is this in the pits? It is the one, the only Rob of the Cali. He's not actually from California. He lives in New York. No, I'm not exactly giving his address away there, but yeah. Username does not check out. Held in the pits. Is he? We've definitely got some kind of glitch going on in this lobby. Things are not looking correct, are they? 4 drivers in the pits. That is Exotic is coming out. Exotic's already out, staying out, and Domi Lee comes out. And Exotic gets out ahead of Domi Lee. Domi Lee is going to pick up the DRS and ride on board with Domi up the hill. Opens his DRS up, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. Exotic isn't going to be close enough to his fellow American. My fellow Americans. As they flow around. Cali just doesn't seem to be getting those tyres up to temperature. He looked a bit understeery, and so did Exotic. Exotic's obviously on older tyres, even though they are the same compound. Now look at Toss. Up in P3, he's got Holmesy just ahead of him. Now Holmesy started on the soft tyres, which he doesn't normally like to do. That's actually go to the tyres. Normally would have done that by now. What is a tyre situation? Now Toss on 3-lap-old, 7-lap-old mediums. Where am I getting 3-lap-old from? Jesus Christ. Domi Lee gets past Exotic and moves himself up into P11. Now Holmesy is only 1.5 seconds behind Tallis. Now Holmesy, as I was saying before, I don't know what I was saying when I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Honesy normally likes to start on the opposing strategy and go different. Tellers pits, so does Honesy. So Honesy's now going to be putting on the medium tyre going to the end of the race. Toss is going to stay out until about lap 15, 14 possibly, before he puts the soft tyres on. Now he's got to open this stint up and fly. See lots of position changes going on, but that is drivers in the pits. Lots of drivers in the pits right now. Only drivers who haven't pitted are Mr. Woot, who is in P3, but it's not a net P3, and tyres. Mr. Woot's going to have to pit probably this lap. Samba is, I have no idea what's going on with him. Apparently he's been lapped. I don't know. He's yeah, no idea what's going on with him right now. Obviously Delta and Stewart are known as the trains of the league, not because they're fast and they look like they drive on rails, because they're slow and their cars are as wide as as a Russian tank. No one can get past them, but because Stewart was so slow there, Delta is likening Stewart to a Thameslink train, because obviously they run slow. Now Callie is on the back of his teammate, not a teammate, it's a similar coloured car, the dots look the same, but he is going to try and make a move on Mr. Woot. Now where is he going to make this move? Is he going to risk it into the bus stop? Is he going to gain too much speed around this corner? He's not. He's going to sit back. What's he going to do? Is he going to try for the move, or is Mr. Woot going to defend? Mr. Woot plants his car on the inside. And look at that. Callie just absolutely drives around the outside. But Mr. Woot, obviously, as we mentioned, was going to be in the pit. So now Honesy in a net P5. And Tallers is fighting back Callie. Now he could see... Let's get a bit closer to the action, shall we? I think it might stay on with Tallers. Up the hill, up Eau Rouge and Radion. He does have to back out the dirty air, playing havoc. And we are going to see an overtake here, I believe. DRS is going to open up. There goes Tallers up the inside of Callie. At the outside, actually, and gets that move done pretty easy, actually, before the braking zone. Dommy Lee was sniffing the back of Callie Rob's gearbox there, but doesn't attempt to make any kind of move. Moves out of his dirty air, gets back into it. Car number 23 flows around Brussels, and Honesy's looking to take advantage of anything going looking to take advantage of anything. Obviously Delta wasn't too happy with my comment there. Apparently I burnt him with my comment. It was pretty quick, actually. I'll give myself that. Just flows off the tongue sometimes, you know. Just flows off the tongue. Right, Honesy in P7. Now what's the gaps? I think they're all pretty spaced out. This is the closest battle on track. Everyone else is spaced out. We've got a couple of drivers. No, that's it. So we've got P6, P7. So we've got P5, P6 together, and we've got P8 and P9, which is Kachow and Exotic. Is Kachow going to look to make a move into bus stop? No, he flows it round and come down the pit straight. Now is he going to be looking to make a move? No, he's going to sit back behind Exotic. He's going to do the smart thing, which is what Stewart didn't do earlier. Going to do the smart thing, and apparently Samba is 10 minutes off the lead of the race. I've no idea where he is on track. Yeah, Kachow stays behind and is going to be the easiest overtake. There goes Kachow, and we have Kachow moving up into P7. Any other battles happening on track? Callie, Dommy, Honesy all still close together. We've got a lapped Red Bull of Diagonal Mar. Anyone else close together? Yes, Tambar is... Whoa! Samba's car. No idea what's going on there. absolutely no idea. Havina, as you can see, gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Lost the car up. Radion runs wide. He's got DRS for some reason. That's because he was behind Samba. And there goes Tambar up the inside. So Tambar, after having such a good qualifying, such a good start to the race, is now trying to recover anything that he possibly can. And he's currently down in P15 with his fellow countryman, the Norwegian Kalsis, just a bit further up the road in P14 himself. Stewart's currently in P12 on the medium tyre. Now, when does Toss? I said about lap 14, he's just starting lap 12, so he's probably got another 2 laps or so before he puts on the C5, the softest compound tyre. Kachow sets the fastest lap of the race. He's got some pace here, but has he got enough to try and catch back up? Spa is a pretty good track for him. Let's just see what's happening. Yeah, Samba is thinking he's racing, but I don't think he actually is. He's definitely not racing on this. He's there, but he's not there. His desync is pretty horrible for him, unfortunately. It's a thing that happens in the game occasionally. I say occasionally, more often than not. But yeah, Samba, championship leader, is not going to get a chance to open up his championship lead with Stein not racing, so it's going to stay as is. Holmesy's got the chance though to close a bit of a gap, and so was Cali Robb. Cali Robb currently in P4, so Cali can move up into P2. I don't know what the restrictions are on that, how it happens. Don't ask me, I'm not good at maths. Holmesy is in P5. Now there goes Toss. He's pitting actually earlier than I thought he would. Gets his car slowed down. He doesn't want to pick up any kind of penalty right now. This is going to see him drop out, probably behind the Aston Martin, I believe, of Bacon, if not Yerdy. Bacon is pitting as well, actually, so it's going to see Yerdy. Here comes Yerdy around the source, and here comes David Shishud. Now, where is Makeba? He is out, and he is out in P6, just behind Kachow. And Kachow's never-ending soundtrack in his head as he races is You Spin Me Right Round by Dead or Alive. No, I'm lying. It's Life is a Highway. He's a huge Cars fan. It's his favourite film of all time. You know, put Shawshank Redemption and Cars next to each other. Kachow chooses Cars all day long. Loves the Haas, and he's currently in P5. Going to try and chase down Dommy Lee. He's got 3.5 seconds to try and close the gap on him, but he is on the medium compound tyre, as are all of P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. It's just Toss in the top 11 who is on the faster soft compound tyre, so he is in a good position. If he can get some good pace on those tyres, he's in a good spot possibly to we've got a yellow flag. It's a Haas, it's a Tambar 8. He is around, so gaps are to the leader. Kachow is only 5 seconds off the lead of the race. Toss is only 5.7 now, and you've got Samba apparently 8 laps down, even though he is driving round. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. Tallers is starting to close the gap back onto Cali Robb. He's within a second. How much ERS have they both got? Cali's got 50, Tallers has got 30. So we're going to see a move here for the overtake. DRS opens up. Here we go. The ride on board, actually. It's going to be quite a late one. And there goes Tallis up the inside and gets the move done before the braking zone. No battling going on there. Penalty wise, let's get an update on the penalties. because we've just seen another one flash up. So we've got Havina on 6 seconds, Stewart on 9, and then we've got Domi, Kachow, Yerdy, Will, Exotic, Tambar and Diagonal Mar all on 3 seconds. Another yellow flag, it's a McLaren. A McLaren is around, it's not Domi Lee, it's Will. Now, that looked a bit sus. That looked a bit sus, I'm not going to lie to you. I think that might have been a bit of a rage quit, but we shall see. Will is out of the race. Doesn't bring out a safety car. There's definitely a safety car glitch in this lobby. We've had quite a few DNFs. I'll say quite a few. We've had 3, and none of them have brought out any kind of safety cars. We've got an erroneous yellow flag flying around. So I believe... And there goes Exotic. Touched that inside curve as I've mentioned. I think he saved his car, and I don't think he got any damage. He might have just brushed the wall with his front wing and tossed the caber. He's got some excellent pace. He's overtaken Kachow, actually. He's ahead of Kachow. And Toss is now gaining. What's the gap to the leaders here? He's gained 2.5 seconds on the leader. He is in the box seat to take the win of the race with 8 laps remaining. We will see what Toss can do. He's obviously got to get past. Track position is king in Spa, and it's going to help Toss that Tallers and Callie are both switching positions for the lead of the race. Honesy's there as well. Honesy's got to watch out for Domi Lee just behind him. And Toss coming up very, very fast. Absolutely rapid Tosses right now. We're going to see what he can do. Can he win another race in NRL? He doesn't win them too often, but when he does, they're always pretty good wins. Brazil is his favourite track. So we'll see if he can win this historic race circuit at Spa-Francorchamps in the hills of Belgium. Obviously it's got his own, it's such a long track, it's got his own like microclimate here. It's got obviously very hilly, very foresty. It does rain on certain parts of the track, and it's sunny on other parts of the track at the same time, so it doesn't happen so much in the game. But in real life you get pockets of road and pockets of sun on the same bit of track. Now is Toss going to try and go for the overtake here? He shoots it, leaves it very late, tries to go for the switchback on Domi but doesn't make it happen. But he is going to have the benefit of DRS, but Domi Lee is also going to have DRS. So that's going to save him a little bit as Toss is trying to go wheel to wheel up Eau Rouge and Rallion. Doesn't make it happen, but he's now side by side. And he's actually ahead before the DRS zone. So he's done well there. Domi's going to try and fight back, but he's not going to be close enough. And Toss moves up into P4. He's 1 position off the podium now. Honesy is still trying to get past the front 2 of Callie and Tallers. Callie's now the leader of the race. Tallers in P2, Honesy P3. Havina unfortunately having a bit of a lonely race at the back, and he is coming up to be lapped shortly. Tambar, after such a good qualifying and such a good start to the race, is currently in P14. Exotic, who had that little moment around Puhon earlier, is in P13. Mr. Wu is not keeping up his good form this weekend from his last weekend's exploits with the podium and a race win. Is currently in P12 outside the points, but he will probably jump up into P11 when Stuart Little serves his ultimate 9 seconds worth of time penalties. Both Aston Martins in P8 and P9 respectively. Look at Yerdy. Yerdy up in P8. 3 seconds worth of time penalties. I will see him drop below his teammate, but it will keep him ahead of everybody else at the minute. At the minute, we've still got 7 laps remaining. Now, Toss is literally on the back of Honesy. Are we going to see another overtake? Just right on board with Toss. We're in the box seat here. Good exit there. Is he going to try and go wheel to wheel with Honesy? Upper Rougeon Radion is not the best place to do it. A bit twitchy, you can see it's a bit twitchy up the hill with the dirty air ahead. That's going to be the same for Tallers and Honesy as well. And there goes Tallers. Is Honesy going to try and join the action? Look at Toss. Catches Honesy napping. I think Honesy probably did back off a little bit early there. Saved himself getting involved, and Toss moves himself up into P3. He's got Callie and Tallers in his sights. He's got to make this tyre advantage work, as those mediums are going to start matching the pace of the soft tyres. So obviously the soft tyre doesn't last as long as the mediums, and the pace does even itself out after a few laps. Age of tyres is 7 and 8 laps respectively for Callie, and 3 laps old for Toss. Dominic does seem to be getting dropped by the front 4 right now. Kachow isn't, he's obviously gained a lot of time, but he's still 8/10, and we've lost David Shashood. David Shashood is now out of the race. Let's jump on with Stewart. What happened to David Shashood? Exit, he did an Antonio Giovinazzi and slammed it into that wall there, so we've lost David. Still no safety car though. Read into that what you will. Read into that what you will. Right, we've got a comment on the YouTube. What's going on the YouTube channel? Who's talking to me? Who's talking to me? Right. Toss is going up the hill, and he's right behind Cali Rob. He's going to get ahead of Cali Rob. Look at that. He's itching, absolutely itching to get past. But he gets blocked. He gets blocked. And there goes Cali. He's round, and Toss has got into Cali Rob. And that's going to damage Toss's car. Yeah, I think Cali might have tried to be a bit over-optimistic there into the end of the Kemmel Straight. And brakes a bit late, just what Mr. Woot did earlier. And there, yeah, I think Toss is going to start struggling now with his car, with a bit of damage. He's picked up another warning, so he is now currently rocking a 3-second time penalty, which is going to drop him behind the back of Honesy. And that's going to impede Toss's progress through the field. It's probably robbed us of a grandstand finish. And I believe that is going to be, unless, you know, Tallers has still got to win the race. He's got 5 more rounds of Spa to go. Yeah, Cali Rob didn't want Toss to win. Spun it. We actually do have safety cars. Wow. Cali Rob is actually out. We actually do have safety cars. Interesting. Now, Tallers pitted. He's going to put the soft tyres on. I don't know if we're going to have the bonus of the safety car. Everyone's saying obviously the DRS is such an advantage up here. You've got to be, whoever's in first on the final lap will possibly lose the race. It's going to be, is Michael Massey going to let them race? Are we going to go motor racing at the end of this race? Who knows? Toss is currently in the lead. He's after Tallers decided to pit. Now the safety car probably won't stay out for very long. I doubt very much it's going to stay out past. We might have this lap, and we might have another lap. Yeah, I was just, yeah, Jack, very true. I was just saying we've probably been robbed of the grandstand finish, just like everybody thought at the end of the in real life season last year when the safety car came out. But no, Michael Massey had other thoughts. I think we might have just got our grandstand finish back. Now Toss is obviously in the box seat. He's in P1. He's got to defend from Honesy. Now Honesy isn't the most aggressive attacker. He wins races on his pure pace and consistency. He doesn't really make too many on-track overtakes or risky on-track overtakes. He's very collected. Reminds me of Alan Prost, just does enough, but enough is always enough. He wins races, he's won championships from just being there, basically. I'm not saying being there as in rude, as in he doesn't deserve it. He definitely deserves it. He's so quick, but you just don't really see him make too many overtakes. He always seems to just wait for the perfect opportunity. And yeah, he does get himself tangled up in some battles that he doesn't want to be in, and gets himself spun round and spins himself round, but 9 times out of 10 he is there or thereabouts every single week. And look at Yerdy. Wow, Yerdy up into P4. He is going to have a barrage of cars behind him though, from P5. So he's got P5, P6, P7, P8, P9, P10, all the way down to, depending on when the safety car comes in, it's not coming in this lap, so we will have the cars, will have a chance to catch back up, because it's such a long lap. At the minute he's going to have Mr. Woot up all over the back of him when the safety car comes in with fresh soft tyres. Exotic's about to join the party. Tambar hopefully can join the party as well. He will do when the safety car, by the time the safety car comes in. Havina is there. I don't even know where Samba is, to be fair. Where is Samba in all this? He is... I don't even know if he's been lapped, if he is there, if he is... It's saying he's 2 laps down, but he doesn't seem to think he is. Very bizarre goings on today. Now, for those of you watching and listening and interacting, who's going to win the race? Who's your money on? What are we going to see come the end of the race? Who is going to win the race? My money, personally, is... I think Toss is probably going to do it. It depends how much damage he's got. He's obviously got a 3-second penalty, whereas Honesy doesn't. So on track, Toss may win it, but Honesy will probably get the race win. Let's have a look. While they're going round, let's have a quick look at the penalty situation at the front of the grid and throughout. So Toss, Domi, Yerdy and Kachow all on 3 seconds. Stuart's got 9. We'll probably see him be dropped out the points with how close everybody is. Exotic, Tambar and Diagonal on 3 seconds. Havina's got 15. And Samba, we do not know whereabouts he is on track, because that is Havina, who's still trying to catch up to the back of the pack, I believe, unless it's another Mercedes. He's got no front wing. He's damaged his wing. He's having an awful race today. Is Havina. I don't think he's going to be able to catch back up. We've got Diagonal Mar, who's been lapped, so he is his race is pretty much ruined by this point. He's not going to be able to catch back up. Now, safety car is in this lap, so Toss will become the safety car. He's going to start to create a gap, and he will lead the drivers. Depends what he does. It's going to be very stupid for him to go now or before the go. He goes early, and Domi looks like he got a huge snap of oversteer, so Toss leads the way. Honesy is still there, still pretty close. We're not going to have DRS, and that's good for Toss. 21, 22. Exotic's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. Now, I don't think we are going to have DRS. I think it would have opened up at the next lap once the lap does finish. So Toss is in a good position here to win it. Now he's got to open up a 3-second gap to Honesy. Honesy's got to try and stay within 3 seconds to win the race. There was a Tallers who was trying to get a move on Domi there, but Tallers has already got past Yerdy. Yerdy is going to be being pushed by Kachow. Is Kachow going to force himself through? Tallers also gets past Domi. Lee now. Look at that, it's a good move into Brussels. Domi drops down into P4. Tallers back on the podium in P3. Honesy's starting to lose a bit of league owner a favour and hold up Tallers maybe. You never know. You never know what could happen. We've got Yerdy is backwards. Oh no, Yerdy's had an incident. I'm assuming that is going to have involved Kachow. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to say anything, but there goes Kachow. Kachow does get quite punchy when he thinks he can make a move. We'll see what there. And there he goes. He literally barges his way past Dommy there, and he's trying to go up the inside of Dommy. Gets it done, does he? No, Dommy gets a better exit, but Kachow, the grip, extra bit of traction he gets off those soft tyres. Holmesy gets overtaken by Tallis. Tallis is using those fresh softs to his advantage, and I think Tallis is going to be in the box seat now to win the race. We're on the final lap. We don't have DRS, obviously. The ERS is being dumped by Tallis, and Holmesy is also dumping it, but he's not going to be close enough. Tallis is in a very good position here to win this race. Dommy is trying to get the inside of Kachow, as he no. Backs out at the last minute. Stewart and Mr. Woot fighting hard. Mr. Woot going to go up the inside. Is he up in? Yes, look at that from Mr. Woot. Brave as you like. And then we've got Exotic also going to try and go down the inside of Stewart. Stewart loses every time I've joined. Oh, who is that switching back? Is that Calcis switching back into No Name? I don't know if he got the move done. I don't think he did, but it looked very brave from what we saw. Now Tallis is literally pushing Toss through Puhon, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. He's going to use the tyre advantage in the last sector before we reach Blanchimont. Look at that. He's absolutely all over the back of him. He doesn't have to make the overtake. He will get it on track, but he's literally pushing Toss through there. Now let's ride on board with Tallis through this section of the track. I don't know if he's going to be close enough. Is he going to try and make a move? The speed advantage is massive. He goes up to the inside. Toss, look at that. Up the inside goes Tallis and gets the move done. That's a good move in the final corner. Tallis wins Spa. Toss comes home in second. Holmesy takes third, but Holmesy gains P2 from Toss's penalty. Calcis jumps up onto the podium in P3. Mr. Woot, look at that. Immense job from Woot, gets P4. Just misses out on a second podium in a row. Toss gets P5 by 9 thousandths. Bacon in P6. Kachow drops to P7. Dommy in P8. Exotic P9. Stewart does end up getting a point in P10. Yerdy, unfortunate for him, finishes just outside the points after being in as high as P4 when the safety car restarted. Tambar in P12, Havina P13, just coming around the final corner, and we're right on board with Havina before we end the race. So thank you for joining us today. You have seen pretty exciting beginning part of the race, a bit of a lull in the middle with the pit stop phases. It was all a bit, yeah. Lots of overtakes for the lead with the DRS. Mr. Woot, look at that, driver of the day. And then the safety car came out and did absolute bits at the end of the race. There you go. Yeah, crazy, Jack, how Mr. Woot, he just never seems to be there. Something all of a sudden, there he is. It's just a very bizarre racing driver. He's either there or he's not there, and when he's not there, he ends up being there for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why it always happens to him, but he always does seem to end up with a pretty good position. So congratulations to Talisburg 508 for winning the race. I believe that was his first race here, but it could be, he might have been here before. He is a reserve driver, I believe. Oh, I say that. Christ, I'm useless sometimes. I am useless sometimes. What car was he in? He was in the Williams. Yes, he's a reserve driver, so I wasn't going mad. This is a good win for him. Holmesy obviously with a good result there in P2. Calcis in P3 ended up coming back from his little indiscretion at the beginning of the race, and the rest of the grid is there. Wait for it to drop in. Not sure what happened to Samba at the end. Don't even know where he is. Is he there? Am I going blind? But yeah, thank you for watching NRL Round 8 Season 6 in Spa-Francorchamps. Next weekend they head to somewhere. in the world, which is normally where Formula 1 races in the world. They're going all the way over to Singapore. Look out for that. It's always a good race at Singapore. And tomorrow night, if you are wishing to watch more CCR network action, we are heading to the wonderful track of Portugal, Portimao in Portugal, for SFR Season 5 round 9. So look out for that. Looking like it could be pretty much to a close full grid as well. So if you are going to be willing to join us tomorrow evening, I'll look forward to seeing you then. If not, see you next Saturday for more NRL action. Over and out.